What's up, guys? This is Dan with the Bullish Bears team. I'm going to be doing the watch list video for you guys tonight, just focusing on day trade stocks today, and wanted to also recap what a crazy day today was. Just with the futures, it was just chop all day long, kind of up and down, and I know I was talking with Rose earlier today in the from the futures room. And she was mentioning, you know, there was a couple VWAP plays today, but it never crossed VWAP, and that was kind of it today. So I've got a futures chart pulled up. 5-day, 5-minute is typically what I look at for momentum and day trade scalping. 5-day, 5-minute, and 1-day, 1 minute. And you can see right here, this green dotted line here. I know I have a lot of dotted lines here. This is I've been playing around with fib fans lately. And watching how price kind of reacts around them, and you can kind of see this red dotted line is a fib fan, but it's pretty much really close right to where VWAP was, and you had, you know, 2 plays off of VWAP today, and then other than that, it was just a red day, just an ugly day in the market. So kind of messy. We'll have to see. Let's look at the daily chart. You know, you got this big outside day right here, engulfing line. I got some old notes here I got to remove. But what I'm really watching on futures, guys, is I'm trying to keep an eye on this trend line. I actually got a long in this area here where price, you can see this long hammer doji right off of this trend line. And then it hit the top of this fib fan right here. This was already drawn. So I had drawn these fib fans actually back when price was coming down to this trend line to try to get an idea on where resistance was. And you can kind of see how price reacted through these channels every time it broke one of these geometric fib lines that I customly edited. You know, there was a lot of bullish momentum, and it hit this top one. I think this was late last night, maybe early this morning, and then just boom, all the way here. So we might see a bounce in the markets tomorrow, guys. That would be awesome. You know, you've got this long kind of high wave candle right here, right off this trend line, similar to here. If you guys look, every time so far, price has bounced off this line. Now, eventually, it won't, right? It's going to keep bouncing on it until it doesn't and actually falls through. But you've got a top channel here as well. So, you know, we're trading inside this channel. And, you know, for now, even though it was a red day, the markets are still, right? The trend is up, you know. So these pullback days are buying opportunities. Just happen to have 2 quick kind of double bottom pullback days back to back, which is a little bit unusual. So we'll see if that's a greater sign of weakness to come. And if we end up trading, see these lines down here, we might end up trading inside one of these fib fans on the way down. So I got the live chat enabled. Let me just see who is joined. Let's see. Cool. Just posting a message in our trade room. So yeah, we're going to take a look. I'm going to do things a little bit different today with building the watch list. I actually am going to use trade ideas post-market movers. So typically we just scan with think or swim at the end of the day and kind of see you know, what the stocks were doing into the close. But I want to use trade ideas today and just kind of see, you know, what's happening in the post-market, you know, what's going on with their news volume. So I'm going to go through the list real quick. MTEM. All right, MTEM. So the first thing I typically like to do is take a look at the daily chart. So MTEM today dojied off the 20 EMA. That's this red line right here and came right back down. But it looks like, so what's that at? That's at 610. If we zoom in, we actually got above that again in the post market and right back down below. around 560. So this might be something to keep an eye on for tomorrow. I don't know if they had, no, they didn't have earnings. Something happened, news. We'll have to check that out. Hey, George. So let's look at the pattern here. So this is the bottom support. So what I'm already starting to see here, guys, is a falling wedge pattern. So these are very, very bullish patterns. When you find these, get excited, because they're typically opportunities. As the wedge gets tighter and tighter and it falls, eventually price gets so tight that it squeezes. And it doesn't always squeeze to the upside. A lot of times it'll squeeze to the downside. But you could say falling wedges, when you find them, it's more probable that it breaks to the upside. And that's what we saw today on this stock. You could see, well, really the last couple days, price has kind of gotten a little bit out of it. And let's see, so 610. I'm actually going to put a trend line right here, right at 610. So really, for bullishness, I would say on this stock, it needs to get above 610, and you can see it did. It got to 617. It respected that 20 EMA again and got right back down. So we'll have to see what this does in the pre-market tomorrow. But I think this thing is pretty worthy to put on the list for a break above 610. I want to take a closer look, though, and see where the next stop would be. So you've got the 50 SMA all the way up here. You guys, if you've watched my videos before or checked out any of the members-only private content that we put out, I'm a big fan of, well, the geometric fib fans, but also the Fibonacci retracement tool, which I've customized a little bit. And this helps me find price magnets in areas for support and resistance when I'm day trading, swing trading, whatever. So this is two significant highs right here. And this was a significant low, this high wave candle down here. So, and actually, you could almost say, for this exercise, for this particular chart, I think I'm going to go to close price on the daily. I actually think that this is a little bit more significant right here, this price level. So let's take a look. All right, yeah, look at that. So this 573 area is starting to look nice. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place an alert so that I can at least keep an eye on this if this breaks above 573. And the first profit target would be 610, and the second would be 631. So this 610 is the again the 20 EMA on the daily. So I'm going to keep an eye for that. Let's do the alert here. So let's say 575. So there you go. So we got fib resistance, room to run to 20 EMA on daily at 610. Next fib retracement at 631. So these are two areas that I'm going to look if we get some bullish price action. It might come quick, but we'll see what this thing does in the pre-market tomorrow, if it you know, runs or flops. So the next one on Trade Ideas most up or down post movers is TNDM, which has been very hot. Very, very hot indeed. Let's look at the daily. So the daily, this one has been on our list a couple of times, I believe, for swing and day trade. Excuse me one second. So, this one has been a grinder above the 9 EMA. You haven't had one close. This is literally a ride the 9 to a T. You know, you've had some dojis that come down and have tested the 9, but it's gone right back up. And you can see today's close was right about here. And if we look at the post market, we're above today's close already. So made some new highs for this stock, 21.79. That's pretty bullish. It's difficult to find resistance on something like this. Let's see what's going on the weekly. So this made a bottom, wow, at 214. Let's throw some fibs on the weekly. We got to go really far back to really find where the heck is resistance on this. All right, so let's go bottom at 214. Let's get it in there. All right, I'll have to edit this. All right, 214. All right, so we're pretty close to the top and bottom there. Wow, look at that. 2103. That fib is right on that close today, and it got above it. So let's look at the 5-day, 5-minute. The next resistance would be 2481. Let me go out a little bit on the hourly. All right, so let's find the pattern here. All right, there's angular support. And so this is in a nice up channel. All right, so now we got an established up channel trend. So with this particular stock, because it has already, this is not in my buy area. Down here is the buy area. Up here is the sell area. Obviously, this could break out and go on a nice run. I want to get this line actually a little bit tighter. So right about there. All right, so now we got the top channel. So that's way up there. So setting an alert for this one is a little bit tough, guys. Trying to find where the entry would be, because the entry I would want to get would be somewhere in the middle channel off of this fib. So maybe what I'll do on this particular one is look for a dip buy and this to come down and test this fib level again before it runs, because it's got a nice amount of room to run. That's almost 250. So I want to keep an eye on this one, and I'm going to put it right at 2105 and write dip buy area. Look for retest of fib and run to top of channel around 23 bucks. All right, so that's going on there. So do they add MTEM? Nope, MTEM. There we go. All right, so that's it. That's all I want to look at right now on trade ideas. Actually, let me look at one more. FCSC. I've charted this one before. I've got the fibs already on here. Let's look at the daily. Daily chart. All right, big green daily candle today. Closed above the 50 SMA. Closed above fib resistance at 309. And we've got resistance right here at, I can barely see this color. It's 361. I must have drawn this fib when my background was white, because I can't, my eyes can barely make that out. So this particular pattern, you've got potential for a big old ascending triangle or possibly a bull pennant. But this 361 is absolutely being respected. I've got this other horizontal trend line. Try to figure out where that's drawn from. I must have drawn this on a different day. Let me get rid of that one, because I can't tell where that initially was. But you can see even on the hourly, it really respected it. The hourly closed below that. So what we're looking for on this one is this one to break that 361 area, possibly make an ascending triangle, flat top breakout, maybe some type of pennant. But I'm going to set an alert for 361 right at that fib. So fib resistance possible pennant or ascending triangle setup. Room to 413. There you go. I got my next fib at 413, so we know where we're going with that. So FCSC is on there. Now I'm going to go through the rest that's on the day trade list, and we'll just clean those up. So ABIL, ABIL. Let's look at the daily real quick. Daily, big. All right, so this is something to take note of, guys. A lot of times you'll see these big green candles, these daily breakouts, and they'll go right to the 200 SMA. Could be the 100 SMA, could be the 50. This particular one went right to the 200 and pulled back, but closed very high at it. Not a lot of profit taking on this. I find that kind of significant. I've got a minor fib retracement, so I actually drew this fib from this candle right here. This was kind of the last significant high before a downtrend. So now that we've closed above this particular candle, I want to go back, and I still think that these two fib areas are relevant, but I want to get a little bit more information. So I'm going to go back even further, and I'm going to go to this candle. Price went up to here, and the low is right around 214, so that's, let me get that accurate. All right, so there's 214. All right, 214. So there you go. Look at that, 472. You can see price went right up to this fib, this magnet, and it's hanging out. And it's hanging out, waiting to break out or break down. We don't know. Angular, you can see right here I had a triangle on this thing. It broke down. This was a nice, back here, this was a nice angular support Momo line that that broke down there. We're kind of potentially making another one right now, so we'll have to see if this one holds. Obviously time's going to go by, it's going to go get above this or below this. It's likely to consolidate quite a bit, but what I would be looking for on this one, let me go out a little bit more, are closes above. Really I want to see this thing break the previous high, so the high this thing made in the after hours, for a possible run to 509, maybe beyond. Again, that's the 200 SMA on the daily. Let's check it out on the weekly. On the weekly you can't even see it. Yeah, so scratch that. All right, so let's put an alert right here. 481 previous after hours break room to 509. Next fit. All right, so we got ABIL on there. Let's take a look at ADMP. ADMP, let me clear this chart. Okay. So looks like we're in somewhat of a triangle right here. Daily touch off the bottom, somewhat of a piercing pattern. It's been in a downtrend. Let's see what else is going on. What don't we see? We've got long term down there. All right, I'm going to throw my fibs on this one. So let's see, high, low, low, low. Let's go to here. All right. You know what? I'm going to look at this one instead, because this is really where it started making a higher high. So let's look at that. So now we got some levels on this. And I don't know, only like 15 cents in between, but you can see right there, I got the fibs dialed in right. I know when I got them dialed in right because I might draw them the first time and they don't really make sense. Maybe I'm rushing or you know, not seeing a candle, going to the wrong candle. So typically it's you know when you got it right because you'll see price really respect those fib lines, and you could see it to a T right here. I mean, it's really clear as day the way price will trade in these channels. So a couple days a good, or a couple candles, 5-minute candles, a good volume here. Not really a lot of risk reward with where we're at on this fib. I think I'm going to take this one off. You know, maybe it'll get picked up on trade ideas later, but I'm going to take it off for now. So APVO, this was a really nice one today. If you caught it in the morning, I mean, quite a ripper from 9:30 all the way to 10:30. I was talking about it in the chat room that the volume wasn't great, but the price action was great. So, you know, for high volume, low float stocks, this is a medium float stock. What I like to see is, you know, somewhere in the range of 40, 50,000 and up 1-minute candles for, you know, good liquidity, not too crazy of a bid ask. This actually moved really slow, and if you traded this one, you could have traded it with a lot of success. Oh yeah, is this that one? Okay. I thought I recognized this ticker, James. So yeah, so this one, big long consolidation wave, kind of oscillating around this price bracket at 576. So what do we see here? Well, we see, oh, let me get back to the correct drawing tool. So what do we see here? We see, you know, a possible, I don't really have a bottom line, but I have a top line I can draw on this. So we have a possible pennant pattern. It's respecting this 50% retracement level as support right now at 556. And every test of it, you know, it's gotten a bounce and made a move to the upside. So, you know, it kind of ended the day bearish, didn't hold its highs into the close. Kind of ended on a down note. So what I would look for this is another possible dip buy. Set an alert at 556. If it tags it, look for a bounce, and you've got almost a 30-cent move to resistance on the fib, which is going to also be met with this angular resistance coming down over the top of it. So I love dip buys, guys. I like trading reversals, stuff that bounces. Yeah, that's how it goes with the biotechs. You know, biotechs might take years to get approvals or get their product approved and on the market, and then start making money before people go crazy and buy it. That's why we say, especially with biotechs, guys, day trade them. You know, don't get married to these stocks that are, you know, in this range of even up to $20, $30. It's a lot of risk, you know, and we don't want it. So let's do at or below. Fib, 50% fib retracement. Look for bounce and volume. Resistance at 576. Cool. So we'll leave APVO on there. We'll see. Maybe that one will be able to get you out of that trade, James. All right. So ASCMA. This came up. This looks like news after hours. Downtrending chart. Daily closed above the 50. And here is resistance. Okay. So it's been riding the bottom of this channel for quite a while. I didn't get that line perfect, but that's pretty darn close. And so we're up off of that. Yeah, that is a good t-shirt. T-shirt slogan. So what do we got here? This is a triangle pennant, possible breakout area. I mean, it's doing nothing at the moment. Obviously, this is going to keep consolidating. Just want to point out these patterns to you guys. Quite a big move from 168 to 304, almost doubled in price. I think it, you know, a chart like this with a gap up like this really warrants a so where's 305 on here? It's going to be right about over here. What we want to do is throw some fibs on this one as well. So boom, boom, boom. So we're going to go from here. This is the last significant high to the significant low, which was about 168. Let's throw an 8 on there. Okay. There we go. So where's this puppy headed? So right now it's holding that, what's that, 243 level? 309, you got 317. Now we've got some risk reward, pretty decent space between these fibs to look for profit areas. It's still a little bit hard. It's still a little bit hard to say. Where do we want to get in on this one? 265, it's already way above that. So, oh, it's at 247. So let's see, 280, 270. Really, this 265 area looks good. So you can see price right here. Stay below it. Majority of price only got above it for a little while, and then the rest of it kept it smack down. So let's set an alert for 265. 265. Okay. For resistance breakout. Enter on 317. Cool. So we'll keep an eye on this one. We'll look for it to break out of this resistance zone. Got some room to 317, 365. This could be a nice one tomorrow. All right. Let's look at BIOL. Not much volume. Okay, so reverse split. Been selling off. Another kind of pump and dump. Don't like the way this one ended. Really just got day traded pretty heavy, and it's pulling back, and you know, probably pulling back to the original trend, which is, you know, all the way down here. So I'll leave that one off. Let's take that one off right now. All right, this one I know has been on the watch list a bunch of times that Lucian has put on. And you can kind of see right here, got out of this massive triangle and sold off, but then it got another nice bounce. Looking at it at the daily, all right, yeah, you got this convergence of all these moving averages. That looks pretty good. This might be setting up to go for a nice run. I think this, yeah, this is a pot stock too. Okay, yep. So that makes sense. Pot stocks have been heating up. So we got resistance at 177. Here we are at 164. Here's overhead resistance right there. I like this one. I might leave it on the watch list, but I just don't. Let's see. Let's look at the hourly. 171. 215. 193. 218. This is interesting to me right here. So you've got this kind of double top pattern, almost tweezer top pattern right here. And what do you want to do? Draw this. There you go. So price did go up there, pulled back. We might be setting up to test that again. It's really not that big of a move, a 20-cent move to get to there. And then above that, you've got 217, and so on and so forth. But let's throw some fibs and just see what comes up for us. So 295 down to, what's that, about 109, 110. All right, so there's my fibs. Yeah, a little bit of space there. I'm just gonna take them off for now though. Yeah, so I'd be looking for this one to get out above that area. So that was the daily high there. So the hourly went up that. So maybe we set it up to the top of the daily. Yeah, let's do that. Where's that? About 193. All right. So let's see. Boom. 177 to 193. So with this one, we could really play in between these two. So what's that? That's not quite 20 cents. But it's a good spot to keep an eye on it. So let's look for this one for a previous high a day break. Room to run 193. Daily candle resistance. There you go. All right, so let's look at BNED. Very similar pattern here. Let's look at the daily. All right, so you can see what happened here. There's the breakout above that right angle resistance. This thing was in a pretty long down channel. And really broke this. Oops. Broke that. It's gapped up right above it. Pulled back a little bit above the 200. Check the weekly. Wow, weekly looks nice too. So this had earnings on 6/18, it looks like. No, earnings today. There you go. So nice move today. This is another one where that's the high a day resistance area. Let's look at what else we see. Let's extend that over to the left. So you got that area right there. Go back to the daily. So I'm going to throw my fibs on this one. This one looks like a good one to throw the fib on. So let's go to here. Try to get this accurate as possible. And look at that. Look at that, right off the fib at 830. So there you go. So now we've got a good 38 cent price bracket magnet in between these two fibs to watch out for. So that's it. That's where I'm going to set my alert. Really simple, guys. A lot of horizontal resistance. It's already broken out of these patterns. This is a momentum breakout. You know, it's broken out of the triangle, the channel, a major down channel and a major triangle, and earnings is good. This could run for multiple days, so this is what you want to watch for. It's got great volume. So what you want to see is you want to have these fibs drawn on here so you know where do I want to enter, where do I want to take profit. And again, third breakout into 868 and 907. So this is the kind of legwork that, you know, I personally do on all of my trades, whether it's coming up on the trade idea scanner, whether I'm running a different type of scan during the day, whether I'm building the watch list. I'm coming up with a plan so that all of my stop and goes, my entries and exits, they're all planned out ahead of time. And it's all just a matter of what price does, you know, and what the candlesticks look like. What's the pattern look like? Is this going to make an ascending triangle? Is this going to make a pennant? Is this going to make a inverse head and shoulders? some type of bullish pattern, I'm going to buy off a bullish candle, whether it's a, a hammer or, a bull flag setup breakout. And that's what's going to dictate my entry, not necessarily the crossover. The crossover could be weak. It could hit this 831 level and just tweezer top and then pull back down. So I'm going to look for volume. I'm going to look for retests, maybe retest the 9 EMA before pushing out of this 830 area. I'm going to, the ticker on this one is Barnes & Noble. So, like with anything, like Lucian's been drilling into your guys' heads, don't just, don't just buy just because an alert gets hit on anything. Anyone's stock alerts, any guru. You want to have the knowledge. Take our candlestick course. Join us in our trade room. We're sharing charts pretty much all day long. It's not just me sharing charts, but it's other guys in the room, whether it's the swing trade room, the futures room, the day trade room. And we're talking about entries and exits and what we were looking at and bouncing ideas off of each other and, keeping an eye on the markets and trying to trade and win together and teach people. So, that's a scoop on that. Boxel, I tried to get a trade on this one. I actually was watching Boxel today, so here's a little recap. I wanted to get in somewhere off of this fib line inside of this triangle, and it just, the price action and volume, you could see right here at the apex of the triangle, the volume was very, very low, like ridiculously low, which was typical. There was greater selling volume today than there was buying volume for the majority of the day on most stocks, because the market was so bearish. Hey, Frank. So I didn't get my setup on this. I got bored with it. You got a couple, you could see a little bit of volume here. Potential to try for VWAP. Very typical. You see these VWAP plays fail. They don't even get to VWAP on bearish low volume days. Just people were not excited about this, about going long today in general. This was a story on a lot of stocks that were hitting the scanner. They either ripped, in the morning, and then it was just, there was no volume and no interest for the rest of the day. So if you were patient, you could get shorts. Like, I don't know what happened here. This was kind of going up. You could see all these, weak bulls, the bears pushing them back down, the wicks, and then boom, they just got scared, and then everybody dumped from 640 all the way down to 575. So I wish I was keeping an eye on this one to short. That would have been super. But I got kind of bored with it here, and then, I left it. And this wasn't something intraday that you could have set an alert on and caught. Unfortunately, you would have had to have been in front of your computer staring at it at 4:30. So downtrend, and this thing is, let's look at it on the hourly. So boom, pop to that 50% retracement level. It's this orange line, and then drop. So Boxel, what am I going to do with this one? I mean, maybe set an alert for if it gets back above this fib. You could see that price. You know what? I will. I'm going to set an alert at 620. So fib resistance. Look for early morning volume and room to run to 740s in a hurry. 50% retracement level. So keep an eye on Boxel. Can. Let's clear this chart up because this is a mess. Oops. Clear drawing set. There we go. So what's up with Can? Yep, catching those knives. So Can, nice end of day volume on the hourly. It looks like right after 3 it really popped up. Very typical for this stock. let's look at the overall pattern. I'm going to go from up here, go from way back here. So we're out of this triangle, but we're not really out of the woods yet. This might be making some kind of cup and handle. But you've got hourly resistance right around here. And you can see it's right at it. It's right at hourly resistance now. So what are we going to look at? I guess we're going to look at fib. Like everything. Who am I kidding? I'm just going to fib almost everything I do. And, you know, again, during the day, I'll do this really quick and try to dial it in. And, oh, look, there's the fib right on that. So 425, and the next one's at $5. I kind of like that. That's some good risk reward. So, you know, to enter a trade and have your target be $5 on a, you know, whether it's a momentum breakout or a dip buy off this 425 to 5, that would be kind of nice. So let's set an alert for 426. $5. Look for bullish patterns. So look for bullish patterns on this. Cup and handle, potential breakout. Actually, I should edit that note. Right here? Yep. And handle on hourly chart. Okay. So there we go. Cup and handle on the hourly. That's good. Can stay on there. Let's see. Let's look at this. There's a high flyer. So thoughts on this one? Looks like that's that right angle. That's that right angle right up there at 750. Got some room to get up there. Some daily dojis that happened there. I'm gonna skip this one for now, just because of where it is in this triangle. You know, maybe this would be decent to watch later tomorrow if it gets up above, but it's got the 200 SMA to smack it back down, which is not too far away. That's at what, 1780? What are we at right now? 1710, 1740 is that resistance. So we'll see if this one comes up on the scanners tomorrow during the day. Trade ideas, but I'll leave that one off. This I already have on there. DCIX. It's funny, I noticed dries today was trending on StockTwits, so I kind of got a chuckle out of that. And so here we go with these shipping stocks potentially becoming popular again. I mean, look at what this did, DCIX, during earnings. This was what's this, last week, a couple weeks ago, and you know, went to the moon at 322 and then dumped again. And typical story, you just a massive downtrend, kind of a punchline joke, you know. Dries, DCIX, tops, they're all the same. They're all, as Lucian would say, garbage stocks. So, you know, this is no exception. It came up on the, you know, the day trade scanner, but you could see a resistance at $1.75. You've got $1.95 for potential profit on this, but it just seems so incredibly unlikely, I guess is the word. I mean, look, you've got decreasing volume. Every single pop has less and less volume. You could even say like this was more of a volume day than even today was. So I don't even feel right putting DCIX on there, so I won't. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll see that thing rear its ugly head tomorrow. Oh, let's see. What do we got here? So we got a cup and handle on HABT on the hourly. That looks nice. And it looks like it began to break out. 4 hour looks the same. Daily looks the same. Oh, nice. So you got this daily close well above the 200 SMA. Weekly right there at the 50 SMA. Pretty much right there at 1068. Where are we right now? Wow, we're above it. So kind of a low volume, slow mover, slow grinder from this price area. But maybe things are about to get wild on this. I don't know. Maybe it's going to get crazy. Let's see. Let's draw some fibs on this. 811. Boom. Okay. So there you go. So 11 bucks. 11.94. I'm not going to put this one on just because of the type of volume it gets, but I've already got it charted out if it does decide to run tomorrow. I did my homework. Yeah, shipping stocks day. Nice. Yep. It comes a couple times a year, shipping stocks day. It comes and then it goes and it doesn't come back for months. That's why you don't you never hold these crappy stocks overnight. You know, these aren't Microsoft and Google and Amazon. You know, if you get a bad entry, you can most likely hold those stocks for as long as you need to, and you'll get your money back someday. And at least sell options on them. You know, sell covered calls if you need to. So JKS Solar Company has earnings coming up in a descending triangle. And it's already had a bullish belt hold right around 11.59. And actually, what's it? 11.48. 11.48. That's pretty accurate on this side. Closed above the 20 EMA. Earnings is next week. So next week earnings on this, 50 SMA up at 1575-ish. What's going on with this? So 1428. So it got above this fib line. Our next is way up there on 1622. Looks like it's doing a cup and handle. And it's got a gap to fill. So this is interesting right here. So I think I can draw a price target right there on that. And really like this. So now I've got some width. You could see these hourly candles really respecting this price area, right? You cannot close above that, so that's significant. There you go. So this looks like decent risk reward, guys. I'm actually going to set the alert for the high a day break at 1428. So high a day break. Hourly resistance at 15. Where's that? About 1510. Call it 15 even. 15 even. Where's the next fib? Next fib is at 1622. Oops. There we go. Next fib at 1622. So this looks pretty nice. Decent volume. Decent pattern. Cup and handle. Like the momentum. Like this gap. This is a really good high probability trade if it decides to run and be bullish. Let's see. So here we go. RRTS Roadrunner. Massive, massive downtrend. I feel like I'm cheating when I look at the hourly chart. I should really look at the daily first. So good good pullback here. Green hammer on the daily, followed by more volume in kind of a engulfing day, inside day. And what are we really looking at? We're looking at daily candle resistance is right about there, which is pretty darn close. And fib resistance is right about here. Let's get this dialed in. 163. Okay, so we got a little bit above that. We got to watch for this daily resistance here, 260, 290. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this one off. Just skip it. We got a couple more to go through. We got SBOT. This one was nice. I actually did get a trade on this one today. SBOT pulled back, so right at 930. This is what happened on SBOT. I think I deleted my trend line. So you got a pullback right here to this trend line, popped, and then dropped. It got above this 315 for a hot second, pulled back, and massive consolidation, grinded lower, even below the breakout fib level. So ton of volume in the morning, not too particularly good of a close. Maybe an hourly hammer here with a green candle, so maybe a glimmer of hope for SBOT longs. But look at this tweezer, kind of tweezer top on the hourly. Boom. This is not, I don't believe this one was shortable, at least on the broker that I checked, which was CMEG. So that's kind of angular support. So let's see. There's that hourly support right here. And so really this thing's in a, it's hard to really get a triangle on this thing. I mean, it's really fanned out. It keeps fanning out, and it ain't looking good. So above 231, this might bull again. I don't know if today, the way that the price action was and the way that this stock has behaved, I would think this would probably be a better short than a long at this point. So I think I'm going to stay away from this one. Okay, SUPV. Let's go to the daily chart. Yikes. So daily chart, what do we got going on here? We got kind of a falling wedge. I'm not sure that it's ready to pop out of it yet, but that's a potential pattern. This might come up here and test this. I don't know what happened after hours. That's the top of it. I don't really like, sometimes for swing trading and day trading, in the moment, I will buy, buy a hammer off the bottom of the wedge for a play out to the top. But I would rather do it when it's got maybe 20% of the wedge left. So if this was a lot tighter, maybe down in here, a hammer off of here for a breakout, where you can kind of like manage your risk using the pattern, if that makes sense. When it's kind of still got a little ways to go, unless it's already proven itself and broken out of the wedge, then I don't really like it. So we'll take that off. XB, X to the Z, XBIO, big, kind of shooting star inverse hammer, and this one had a crazy bid ask spread. I was watching it in this pennant, and then it broke down, got back above VWAP, back below, and you know, what a move on this one. But here's the original Momo line. So this was angular momentum on the stock, and you can see what happened, that the bulls really dumped this stock when it broke this line. So that's something you guys want to watch out for. You know, it's completely trading out of this triangle. So now you got your next support right here, and you can see it got below it again. So this one is you know, for all these guys that got trapped up here, not good. That's why you cut your losses right away. So this could be pulling, though, like this particular pattern, guys, all these, this high wave candle, hanging man, engulfing, really big, you know, red candle. This thing is, to me, looks like you know, the typical pattern for this is to pull all the way back to the original trend, and the original trend is all the way back here. That's where it is. I mean, that's back at 233. So maybe a good short, but I'm sure all the shares are gobbled up at this point. And so that's kind of the list. You know, I got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe look at one more. Oh, you know what's on here? Dries has volume after hours. That's on the Trade Idea scanner. So let's take a look at Dries just for fun. These are just day trades, guys. So I'm just doing, so on Thursdays, we only look at stocks for day trading the next day. For longing or shorting, we don't like to enter swing trades on a Friday over the weekend, because anything can happen over the weekend, just news or whatever. So swing trading pretty much Monday through Thursday, and just to get the best entry. And then Friday we just focus on the day trades. So that's kind of the pattern here, guys. I'm gonna hey, I'll be with you in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Got some company, almost finished up here, guys. I'm just kind of wanted to poke fun at Dries. You can see big volume candle on the hourly, and then dump, and kind of in an uptrend. A little bit of a cup and handle, tried to break out, didn't break out. Dries is just something that it's a phenomenon. It gets crazy volume sometimes and then dumps, but this stock, if you go back and look at it, has just been dying a slow death for the longest time. But on the daily, it's kind of interesting, because on the daily it's had this this kind of bit of a grinder riding the 9, and it's starting to really get some good daily volume. So, you know, the last time there was daily volume up here around 4 million shares, it had some super wild price action way before the reverse split. So I'm not going to put Dries on, but definitely keep an eye on it. No problem, Todd. Definitely keep an eye on Dries. Dries can surprise. That's what I'll leave you guys with. So thanks for watching, guys. I got to go run, getting some phone calls, got some company over, but thanks for watching the watch list video. Check us out over on our website, where you guys can join our different trading rooms. I've got a day trade room, swing trade room, futures room. Our stock watch list alerts will be, or watch list I should say, will be posted here. If you guys want to get the alerts for the swing trading and day trading sent to you guys, we'll send those out to you nightly. If you guys subscribe here as a free user, you'll just get the watch list. But for $9, you guys can join our monthly. You guys will get access to our Facebook group, which is, I think we're over 30,000 at this point in our Facebook group. Of course, you guys will get all our courses. We also have a lot of private content video where we show you guys kind of more advanced trading strategies and how we trade. You guys will have access to all of our live streams, because some of our live streams are going to be private in the future. You guys will get the watch list. You'll get the webinars that we do, all the chat rooms, and if you guys check out this, we have some banners over here. So these are discounts. We partnered with Market Club, great for swing trading. We partnered with Trade Ideas, great for obviously day trading, and we also partnered with Benzinga. So if you guys want to get breaking news as it happens, especially you futures traders, it's really important to get that breaking news right away. This is a really great tool to get that news. So check us out, guys. I'm gonna head out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later, and catch you on the other side.